Orders are as follows. Good morning, guys. Welcome back to our Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough, and implicitly the last episode of this playthrough, the epilogue, where apparently Wheaters decided to throw a party with all the party members around. First things first, I do have speak with animals. Let's start with our little owlbear. Not so little anymore, it's still armored.
Friend? Friend! You came! Big brother Scratch too! Happy.
I mean, you're a lot bigger than Scratch now, though.
Yes, big! But Scratch is smart, teaches me many things, like Big Brother.
What have you been doing since last we met?
Lots! Make friends with a turtle, a cat, a kraken. Kraken eats my cat friend, so I bite, kill. With shiny clothes, I am strong. Tired now. Want sleep, want cave.
Oh. You know what? It sounds like you need someone to look after you. How about Shadowheart? I know Halcyon is with nature and all that, but I guess, in my opinion, Shadowheart should take care of the owlbear if we can do it.
Nice lady. She gives pets and tasty things. I like her. I go to her. Happy. Gonna get pets. Gonna play. Gonna live with nice lady.
Ah, I'm gonna pet you as well, come on. Oh, and I'm hearing Bo around.
Yes. Miss this. More.
Sure, one more.
Yes. Miss this. More.
Maybe later. Otherwise I'm gonna be here all night. Okay, Scratch. Clothing chest. Selenite sleepers. Oh, there you are, Scratch. Not sure
A
what the boy
familiar
is.
sight. Scratch can't quite speak around the thing he has in his mouth.
Oh, is that the... What you got this time, Scratch? Looks like the prism, right? Is it the same one?
I found this. It smelled like you, so I kept it. Seemed like something you might like to throw.
That is a dangerous object. I'm not sure we should be playing with it.
You know best. But a little fetch never hurt anyone, as far as I know.
Okay, I'd be happy to, but first, how have you been?
Oh, I've been so good. I've got a nice home in the city now. A girl named Mindy says I'm her best friend. She's mine too. Also you and Albert. I've got so many best friends, I hardly know who to play with.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear you fared well since our travels together.
I certainly have, and I always will. Forever, I think. And so will you.
You can't pet him? Aw. Okay, I don't know where Boo is. There's dagger +1 over there.
The whole gang is here. Wish I had time to polish up the
Wait,
horns.
Basil? Ah, you moved there. I thought you disappeared. Right, inert astral prism.
Never wanted the easy part.
One so powerful now sits empty and quiet. Okay, Shadowheart, I'm assuming these are your sleepers, since you're sitting in the water.
Starting to wonder if you'd show up.
Are you joking? I've been counting down the days.
honestly. So have I. Oh, come here, will you? It's been forever.
Aw.
You feel a little more substantial than before. Less camping and scrounging off the land, I take it.
Are you calling me chubby?
Filled out and healthy is what I was going for. Don't tell me you miss living off whatever scraps we found in crates and barrels. I'm glad you seem well. Truly.
Feelings mutual.
I had no doubt. But I'm glad to hear you say it all the same.
Tell me what you've been up to.
Wandering, mostly. The adventuring life is almost a tonic when you're not constantly threatened by brain monsters and cultists. I can finally see the world beyond the cloister.
Come on. Tell all. Where have you been? What have you seen?
One of my first stops was the House of the Moon in Waterdeep. It's the largest temple of Selûne in existence. It seemed like the perfect spot to reflect on my parents, on where they came from. And where I came from too, I suppose. Hard to imagine, isn't it? Me, of all people, in the lair of the Moon Witch herself. God, your truest act of heroism was putting up with all that char and drivel I was spouting for so long.
Waterdeep, you say? Did you bump into Gale?
We had tea on his balcony. Tara even deigned to sit on my lap for a while. You know, I think entire forests must have been felled to quench that man's thirst for books. He seems to be doing well. In his element.
What else have you been doing?
Well, I've had run-ins with my former fellow Sharans on a couple of occasions. Word seems to have spread of what happened at the cloister. Now other chapters of Shar worshippers see me as a prime target to offer up to their lady as a sacrifice. Don't worry. I know their tired old tricks better than anyone. They'll need more than a hooded cloak and poisoned blade to best me. Especially when I have a friend on the inside keeping me abreast of their predictable little plans.
Ah, you mean Nocturne, right?
None other. The matter of her faith and allegiances remains complicated, let's say. But she is still my oldest friend. I have hopes that perhaps she might turn from Shar entirely given time. But that's a decision she will have to make for herself. If that day comes, I'll be ready.
Well, you also must be wondering what I've been doing this past while.
Must I? You presume a great deal. I'm joking. Of course I want to know. Tell me all.
You're polite to ask when I must speak of Brimstone. Been carving my way through Avernus with Karlak.
I'm glad you two have each other. Hells, I'd be almost tempted to come along if you'd have me. Perhaps if your adventures ever lead you out of Avernus permanently. Hopefully these meetups will become a regular occurrence. It's not that I miss the tadpoles, but at least it brought us together. Now we've got to make the extra effort ourselves.
Getting a group of friends to regularly agree to a time and place can prove challenging. Okay, this is a jab regarding in real life when you try to get your group for a D&D session. And everybody is saying like, oh, I can do that day but not that day, but then you have another person saying that they can't do the day that another person said is available and so on, so it's a total cluster F. So yeah, can prove challenging.
Don't remind me. Someone's always got somewhere else to be. But let's do our best all the same. After all, we've faced down bigger threats than wrangling together a few social calendars.
Yeah, this is definitely a job.
Don't be a stranger.
We're not done yet.
I've missed wine. Had to resort to making my own cider recently, which isn't bad, don't get me wrong. But a girl can't have fun with apples alone.
Maybe you could have a future in brewing. Start your own label, maybe. Shadowheart's Special Scrumpy?
You might be onto something there, though the name might need work. Somehow it sounds rude, even though I know otherwise.
Right, I do have a confession to make. I may have volunteered you for something.
Is that so? And what liberties did you decide to take, exactly?
I was hoping you might like a new companion. Rather large, feathered, well-mannered, mostly.
The owlbear? Of course I'll have him. If he wants to come with me, that is. I'd have offered sooner, but everything was a blur after the battle. I thought he'd gone to roam free. Are you sure he'd want to join? I'm not exactly settled anywhere right now. It could be dangerous at times.
Hardly anything new for either of you. You'll love it, I'm sure.
All right then. It's settled. Oh, the things we'll get up to. Don't be a stranger.
Right. Anything else?
You know, I never really imagined Withers as much of a party thrower. But then again, I suppose our camps weren't taking care of themselves while we were out gallivanting, were they? There's hidden depths in that lovable husk.
He's been an asset, no doubt about it.
Indeed. Healing can only do so much. We'd likely be dead somewhere out in the wilderness if not for him.
Although he could stand to be a little less cryptic, perhaps?
Oh no, that's all part of the fun. You know me. I can't resist a bit of mystery. Don't be a...
Anything else?
We should make this a tradition. Meet up every year.
Okay, so I think that's pretty much everything.
I hope the sun takes its time slipping through the hourglass. I don't want tonight to end too soon. I hope the sun...
Okay, so that's
Don't be...
everything for Shadowheart. Owlbear.
Happy? Gonna get pets? Gonna...
Oh, Scratch.
Oh, boy! Is it lovely to sniff you again?
So glad to hear you fared well since our travels together.
I certainly have, and I always will. Forever, I think. And so will you.
Let's pet him.
You always know just how to do it.
Okay, I'm gonna leave Kolak for last. Clothing chest. Oh, a lot of dice and... Right. I guess if you want to dress up properly, I'm not gonna spend that much time with that. Dora!
Oh, right. You. Hello.
Of course, number 2. I'm here.
Something caught in your throat, dear? Anyway, I hear congratulations are in order. You helped Mr. Dacarios save Baldur's Gate from the Absolute, isn't that right?
Actually, Gale helped me.
That doesn't sound like him. But whichever way you want to remember it, well done, I suppose. You ought to come visit myself and Gale when you're able, if you can extract yourself from what I'm sure are very important responsibilities.
Ah, no respect for the co-savior of Faerun, huh?
Why, I took time out of my busy schedule to come to your party, didn't I? What greater show of respect could there be? Ta-ta, darling.
Yep, definitely a cat. Wait, you're really leaving? No. Chat more.
Do let me know if you spot a cozy corner near the fire for me, won't you? Do let me...
Okay, I guess that's it. Wait, Gale, where'd you go? Right, they're moving around. Oh... Halsin is dazed, I don't know what's doing.
Your friend was near.
Where did Gale go? Ah, he's coming back, I suppose? Yeah. And then we're gonna have Lae'zel. I'm gonna leave Karlach for last.
There you are.
Present. I'm glad for it.
Well, well. Look what the Tressim dragged in.
Not what the cat dragged in.
Professor Gale Decarius of Blackstaff Academy. Educator of the esteemed School of Illusion. A pleasure to remake your acquaintance.
Professor? You confine yourself to School of Illusion? I thought you could teach the entire curriculum.
I did offer, as a matter of fact. However, the Blackstaff insisted I couldn't teach every subject, nor could the simulacra of myself I offered to create for that purpose. So I've settled for teaching the art of illusion. Magic to confound the senses, to render the impossible into reality, and to allow expression of that most magical attribute of all. Imagination.
That's awesome.
I fear my students find me somewhat intimidating due to my, explosive former reputation. I seem to put the fear of the gods into them. Or the fear of Mystra, to be more specific. I surrendered the crown of Karsus to her, as I told you I would. And in return, she cured me of the orb at last. Even now, I struggle to put the feelings into words. It was like exhaling for the first time after holding my breath for so very long. Of course, I haven't clarified with my students that the orb is no longer a threat. The legend of my explosive capabilities is an excellent means of controlling a classroom. Too good, if anything. I spend most of my time trying to convince them how much fun the study of magic can be. But it'd be easier to crack a smile on an intellect devourer than some of my pupils.
Oh, I have a bard option. I'm glad to hear that. The weave is not fodder for idle study. It's dangerous and should be treated as such.
Still, I hoped my students might be a little more open to the playful side of such magic. Oh, they try their best, of course, when they can manage to stay awake.
The cheek of them! Nothing a well-placed swipe from Tara can't fix, though.
Is that
And
a
what
bit...
of you? What are you making of this newfound lease of life we earned?
I do have a bard option. You know what? I found the love of my life. I'd say I'm pretty happy.
And I couldn't be happier for you. A fitting reward for the sacrifices you made in getting here. I've told my students plenty of tales about our escapades. You're something of a hero to them, you know? I'll be delighted to introduce you to my current cohort as a guest lecturer, perhaps. I'm sure they'd have plenty of questions for you.
I suppose I could regale them with a stirring ballad or two about our epic journey together.
Well, I, for one, can't wait. And I say with some confidence, neither can they. Of course, you'll be most welcome to stay with me in my tower. My apologies, Tara. That would be our tower.
Yeah, definitely a cat.
It will give us plenty of time to catch up on your adventures. I'm very curious to know what you've been up to these past months. But I suspect the telling of that tale would keep you tied to me all evening.
Yeah.
So, in the spirit of selflessness, I encourage you to mix and mingle for now, with time enough to come.
Awesome. So he's a professor.
I can't believe this is real. Never thought we'd gather like this again. It's quite... yes, it's really quite lovely.
Yes. Let's hug him. Come here, buddy.
It's good to see you again.
Likewise.
I can't believe this is quite...
Okay, so nothing else to say. Lae'zel. Tara, was that you, or do we have
my
another
knees
cat
are
around
aching
here?
terribly.
Do let me know.
I guess that was Tara. Right, I guess it's gonna be Asterion on next, because he's...
Well, look who decided to turn up. I wasn't sure our withered old friend could live up to his promise. But here we are. And look at you, straight from the hells, still reeking of brimstone. I take it you've been having fun.
Asterion, I could hug you.
Understandable, but try to resist the urge. I don't want to know what your clothes have been through since we last met. Although I do like the style. Tortured armor never does go out of fashion.
The last time I saw you, you were running from the sun. What happened?
Exactly what I feared. Without the protection of our little friends, I was just an ordinary spawn again. Burning in the sun. I fled the dock and found refuge in the shadows until night fell. Part of me was relieved you left so quickly after the battle. I felt... ashamed. Like I'd lost... everything. Just as you claimed your victory. I didn't want you to see me like that. But time lent perspective. It wasn't your victory, it was ours. And for all I'd lost, I'd gained so much more. I had freedom, strength, a whole new life. And it was time to live it. I've taken a turn as an adventurer and hero. It turns out no one actually cares about murder, as long as you murder the right people. And apparently I'm rather good at it.
Asterion. One of the good guys. Who would have thought?
Let's not get carried away, darling. I'm still me. Perhaps more me than I've ever been.
So, what's next for you? Going to keep living the good life?
Hardly. Good people don't spend as much time lurking in the dark as I do. You know, it's funny. At first, I thought I was trapped by the shadows, cursed to live in them forever. But in time, I realized that darkness is as much a part of me as my fangs. This is only a curse as long as I refuse to embrace the shadows. So, I decided I would. I decided not to be defined by the choices other people made, by what other people did to me. My past may be done, but my present, my future, they're mine. This is who I am, in all my glory, for better and for worse.
I'm glad to hear it. acceptance looks good on you.
That being said, I haven't completely given up on returning to the sun. If the opportunity presented itself, well, I wouldn't say no. But until then, I am happy. We've had quite the journey, you and I. From the moment I first threatened you, I knew you were someone special. Someone to take on the world with. I will miss our time together. But then again, maybe this isn't goodbye. So much as it's, see you later, darling.
See you later.
After everything, this feels nice. A chance to take a breath, metaphorically speaking. After...
Okay, so that's it with the Asterion. Lae'zel, let's continue with you.
A most welcome sight.
As you keep moving between the campfire and this spot.
The Hell's Walker returns. For 2 months I trained the Knights of the Comet. For 2 more I skewered Kithraki bellies. And for 2 more yet, I traveled through Limbo. I never imagined we'd be standing toe-to-toe on this day, in this place. Nothing but allies, I always told myself. A necessary partnership. But in spite of every strained word, every barbed glance, seeing you brings me even more pleasure than taking a Royal Inquisitor's head.
Your efforts to topple Blackheath are well underway then.
We've spilled blood, gained a foothold in the astral, but still we need allies. And one beyond reckoning has made itself known. Zerith Minyaragith.
Zerith Minyaragith. What is that?
Not a what, but a who. The immortal god king of the Githzerai. An exiled people. Once king with mine, until the madness of civil war ripped our one sky into 2. Algish sent word of the rebellion to Minyaragith through the cosmos. He's agreed to parley. It's fallen to me to secure an alliance.
Hold on. The great warrior Lae'zel on a diplomatic mission?
Exactly the reaction I expected. My blade is keen as ever. But it was you who showed me that a proper victory doesn't always require a razor-sharp edge. Sometimes, a sincere plea is more persuasive than a dagger against the neck. Minyaragith is an ascetic. He reached out in good faith. This is his way. It is in this spirit that I must meet him. And if he refuses, I carry on. Gravity pulls me in but one direction. I am a warrior of the comet. I will not rest until I burn Vlaakith's bones to ash and smash her phylactery to pieces. My people will be free. But you've heard that refrain before. Zealous, bossy, insistent. All part and parcel of my undeniable charm.
Indeed. You know, a shame you couldn't be with us in person. It's like talking to a ghost.
I suppose it is, rather. I'm just glad to be here at all. It's taken a dozen Gish's talents, a few stolen psi crystals, and 2 10 days of effort to conjure my projection. Worth it, I'd say. I miss this place. This... Fey Run. More to the point, I missed you. I wouldn't even deny it with Blackheath's vorpal blade at my neck. Though, I'd rather it not come to that. Now go, mingle a bit. That's the word, right? Mingle. But don't think you've seen the last of me. I'll be back, sure as the comet will rise, Sure as Kalir will forever circle the sun.
Have you heard word from Orpheus since his departure?
I have not heard tell of him, nor has my mind felt his presence. It seems Gith's son has been lost to the shadows. Perhaps one day, he will step into the light.
And also, what has become of the egg, Lizel? Has it hatched?
So it has, and a fine man the hatchling will be. I call him Zan. Freedom. He is with the mages of Zamvardim. I trust his care to no one else. Zan's destiny will be his own to follow. Warrior, poet, explorer, scholar. His way will be the way of the comet. No chains to bind us, no lies to bury us. Liberty will be the rallying cry that unites our empire.
Yeah, yes, I hear you, boo. Wherever you are. Anything else?
This is... nice. Yes. I think that's the right word for it.
Okay, we're done with Lizel. Vestarian here. Gale. Okay, Volo. Let's continue with you.
Ah, my dear friend, it's been an age, has it not? You're looking very well indeed. Our skeletal friend will be very pleased to see I found my way here, despite my invitation getting lost in the post.
So you weren't exactly invited. But yeah, it's wonderful to see you, Volo. How have you been?
Busy as ever. Better that than the reverse, wouldn't you say? Every major publishing house on the Sword Coast has been vying for my upcoming book on the subject of our adventures together. I've gotten quite good at replicating your signature, so you needn't even bother with the release form. You might help me with the title, though. I'm considering The Hero and Me. What do you think?
You can do better, can't you?
Oh, terribly sorry, but you mistake me, my friend. I'm only accepting complimentary feedback at this time. Perhaps, once the manuscript is finished, you'd even be willing to write a foreword? Or better yet, I'll write a draft and you can just sign your name. Better still, I'll sign it for you. Hmm?
Oh, of course I will.
Your success really has been wonderful for my reputation. But you mustn't let me hog your attention all night, my friend. You've many friends to chat to, and I'd love to listen in.
Oh, of course.
Don't worry, friend. I'll be sure to send your royalties by post once the manuscript's published. I'm certain I have your address around here somewhere.
Yes, of course.
Don't
Okay, you're finished. Alcin, since you're around here.
You would think someone of my vintage would be inured to the passage of time. Yet these past 6 months have seemed endless without your company. But now, our paths cross once more.
Feelings mutual. Missed you.
We have all pined for each other's company, I sense. I cannot imagine otherwise after what we shared. That bond was forged in a crucible that can never be stoked again, Oak Father willing. It is a bond that can weather any distance, any passage of time. I know it can, for I feel the longing for old friends in my heart each day.
You sound like you need a hug.
I always do. Should I ever decline, assume a doppelganger has taken my place.
Good to know. Good to know.
That was more than worth the wait.
That's quite a squeeze you put on me, Halsen.
Apologies. You can probably understand my eagerness. I shall be as gentle as a feather next time. Now, we have much to catch up on. Do not allow me to ramble on. I am eager to hear all you've been doing.
You first, Halsin. I want to hear about the life you've made, the people you've helped.
In that case, very well. Our community grows rapidly. In 6 months, we have turned what was once a shadowy wasteland into a true home for all. In another 6 months, I would wager the scars of the past will be entirely invisible, even to those who remember them. The old masonry of Moonrise Towers and Rythwin have been repurposed into new homes, and the land is rich with harvests and bountiful trees. Nature and civilization are in harmony, stronger together.
Is this the balance you wished for?
In a manner of speaking, yes. Though it is a more complex, evolving beast than I could ever have anticipated. True balance is no simple, fixed thing. I see that now. We welcome folk from all walks of life. Anyone who wishes for a new start. Naturally, it can be chaotic at times, but it is a thrilling sort of chaos. It thrives in ways I could never have dreamed of.
Guess I need to see this place for myself.
You are welcome whenever you like, and for however long you please. Now, please, tell me all, and spare no details. I shall not lie. I have an ulterior motive in wishing to hear all. It is the children, you see. My charges. Their appetite for bedtime tales is greater than I could ever have anticipated. Another story, Daddy Halsin. Another is the chorus that greets me each nightfall. They have all but exhausted my repertoire in but a few short months. No mean feat given the lifetime I have lived. I desperately need new material, please. My reputation is at stake.
Cute. Alright, let me see what I have.
I am all ears. Though I never cared for that phrase. A rather unsettling image.
Avernus has proven lively, but at least I have Karlach by my side. A laughs parts the clouds.
I am glad you and Karlach have an enduring friendship. It shall serve as a strong lesson for the children, as well as a stirring tale. Now, it would be cruel of me to hoard you all to myself for the evening, as much as I would like to. I shall leave you to the others for now, unless there was anything else.
Oh, we do have a lot of options. Right. Tell me about Daniel and Oliver. Do you see much of them?
Quite often. They come and go as they please, but with so many playmates to avail of, they are far from strangers. They ask after you often. What you did for them will never be forgotten. I can see it in the land all around me. But more importantly, I see it in their faces whenever they visit. To make a child smile is to dabble with the power of gods, as far as I'm concerned.
And still partial in roaming in bear form, I take it.
I spend half my days in ursine form. The children demand it. I had a score of them taking turns riding upon my back just days ago.
Aww.
I'm glad they are so comfortable with the Oakfather's creations. But they must learn that not all are as amiable as I am. A lesson for another time, though. They deserve some joy. As for roaming, that impulse has dwindled, I must admit. Perhaps because I have found where I am meant to be.
That's awesome. Yeah, you seem more settled than I expected of you. I thought that was against your nature.
As did I, but Somehow I feel like I no longer need to roam. That I have found something worthy laying roots for. Amazing what can be discovered about oneself, even at a ripe old age.
And what of the grove? Do you stay in touch?
On occasion, but I prefer not to interfere. Francesca of the High Forest is Archdruid now, and by all accounts, she has proven to be a steady and wise influence. Even Korga may yet find true balance, thanks to her influence.
Let's have another hug. May I?
By all means.
Come here, you big bear.
If only we could stay like that forever. Before you go, I have something for you. Just a little keepsake, really. Do you remember how I told you I like to whittle?
Yeah.
I made this. Ducks are my favorite, but I thought they were particularly fitting in this case. They are migratory birds, of course, traveling far and wide with the turn of the seasons. Yet, they always find their way back to where they belong. Just like old friends find themselves back in each other's company.
I doubt it does anything, so I'm not gonna ask that. It's lovely. Thank you, Alison.
Just a token to remember me by. Now, I've taken up enough of your time. Go on. Enjoy the festivities. We can speak again later.
Whittle duck. It's out of wood, smells of the deep forest.
Barrels and crates for supplies when he could source things.
Anything else, Alcin?
It truly is splendid to see everyone gathered together again. If only for a night. I hope the sun does not make haste to rise on us. It truly is splendid to...
Okay, so that's everything. Will... Jahira.
Well now. You can make yourself presentable when you have a mind to.
Yep. I missed you too, Jahira. I missed you too. Come on, this is not exactly presentable clothes. Maybe if I went through the wardrobe in the chest.
Ah, how nice to be understood again. I have spent the past months bickering with builders and bankers, all to restore the city exactly as it was. Same twisting alleys for purse pickers, same wooden buildings ready to get burnt by next year's dragon, same cisterns overflowing, huh?
I heard rumors the upper city was destroyed beyond reconstruction.
The upper city has been almost entirely rebuilt. That's where the gold is. Even the builder's scaffolds are cleared from the streets. No dust left to sneeze at. Baldurians simply get on with it. Stubbornness, civic spirit, plain stupidity. Perhaps all three. But nothing I will sniff at any longer. Harpers have come from half the world over to lend aid. Farmers, masons, healers. My own son, Jord, has been wooed to their ranks. Already he plans crop cycles in Worm's Crossing. Not so for my daughter. Ryan's rejoined the Flaming Fist. Temporarily, you understand. To organize the craftsmen. Though she spends more time locking up comrades for pocketing aid funds. They might learn a thing or two if they don't expel her. Again.
What about Minsk?
The beloved ranger? Oh, beloved wherever he goes. Winning all sorts over to our rebuilding efforts. Minsk has the guild and 9 fingers on board. Deep down, it seems even the wicked can be moved to care for the city that made them. Of course, many of the wealthy fled the city when danger struck. Ha! Perhaps the thieves only want to lure them back. But for now, their hands are busy laying bricks. While I hover around. Mistake me not. There is still much to be done. Plans to make, maps to be frowned over. But my children are more than capable of doing it. Even the young ones tire of me peeking over their shoulders. This night offers them a brief respite from me, at least. And this place, now I look at it, it is where you all spent your first night together, no? A fine spot for an adventure to begin. A fine spot indeed.
I love that in the background we saw Minsk showing off the muscles and whatnot. We had the owlbear next to him, like, ooh, what are all those muscles? But you know what? Don't go getting any ideas about wandering off. Your children need you.
And I them. But I cast a little more shade than I would like. And they are only beginning to see the sun. Which is my way of saying, I'd like to see the open road once more. Just for a time. I'll find my way back. As I always do. I admit defeat. Baldur's Gate is my home. But that is the thing about home. The only way to see it clearly is to leave. And look back. For a little while, at least. For all your travels, I hope you have arrived where you want to be. Home. Whatever that means to you.
Garlack and I are each other's home in world awareness.
Garlack is lucky to have you. And know that you are not forgotten. If your friends don't drag you from the hells, it will only be because you freed yourself first. But there will be more to discuss on that matter. First, I must inspect the refreshments. You'll never know. Some ne'er-do-well might have tampered with the wine.
Of course. Anything else good here?
I won't send too many letters back to the gate while I'm away. I will try to enjoy solace. But you look disbelieving.
Okay, so we're done with Jahira. Who is Milil? Can we chat? Yes, I can.
Has laid out quite a
I
spread
don't
of
remember
food,
meeting him at all.
one comprising mostly of bone.
But he just...
Oh, hello. Let me guess, you've got some suggestions about the music choice.
Yeah, music's fine. Uninvited guests are not. Who are you?
You've no idea who I am. Withers couldn't even find a bard that knows who I am.
Go on then. What's your name?
Milil. Though if the lack of song prayers is anything to go by, that name carries less weight than it used to.
You feel a pang of divine guilt. Musical prayers went out of fashion among bards when Milil, Lord of Song, offended the god Cyric and was ejected from the pantheon.
I'm washed up, I'm afraid.
Oh, if I'd known Milil was invited to the party, I'd have got fancier wine. It's an honor.
You know?
You're bloody right. It is an honor. Deep down, I knew you'd recognize me. You're a fellow bard, after all. What can I do you for?
Please carry on as you are.
Fantastical news. Carry on I shall.
So, is this a character from previous games, or... Huh. I don't know.
Greetings, O cultured adventurer. What can I do you for?
Right, that's for the conversation. Chest of grateful words.
Oh, pardon me.
Oh, right. Zevlor, neighbor. Oh, neighbor. Nine Fingers, Nocturne, Valeria. Okay, we're gonna have a lot to read over there. I'm assuming Withers. It's maybe inside here. Yeah. So I need to talk to him to end this epilogue. Right. I'm gonna do a jump cut here. I'm not gonna completely end the episode. So this will be one episode but split in 2 parts, so it doesn't get too long. And yeah, we're gonna continue finishing talking with all the guests. I think it's just Minsk, Happy Horson. I don't know who this guy is. I think Minsk will collab. Finish, and then some correspondence to read over here. So there's gonna be quite a bit of time as well. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the second part of this video.